Hey everyone, and welcome to the Global WarWatch Network. If you're looking for clear, no-nonsense analysis of what's happening around the world, you're in the right place. And hey, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.
All right, so let's get right into it. You've heard the threat a million times, right? We'll bomb you back to the Stone Age. It's one of those phrases that gets thrown around a lot. But is it actually possible? I mean, could a modern country really be pushed back to the Stone Age in a war? Or is that just some really dramatic exaggeration?
Right. And to answer that, we've got to first break down what that phrase even means. It sounds intense for sure, but what's the actual military goal when someone makes that threat?
Okay, so this is super important. Nobody's talking about a literal Stone Age, with hunter-gatherers and actual stone tools. That's not the point. The threat is, well, it's figurative. What they really mean is a total collapse of all modern infrastructure. We're talking no power grid, no running water, no internet, no phones, basically a complete functional shutdown of society as we know it.
So that's the real goal here. The objective is the total destruction of a nation's ability to even operate in the modern world. And this is a key part of the theory. This is all supposed to be done with conventional bombing. We're not talking nukes or anything like that, just overwhelming firepower.
But the big question remains, can it actually be done? To really put this theory to the test, we're going to look at a fascinating case study. It's a fictional scenario, but one that's been intensely analyzed, the 2026 Iran War. And we'll see exactly what kind of ripple effects it would create across the globe.
And wow, in this scenario, things escalate fast, like stunningly fast. On February 28th, the airstrikes begin. Less than 24 hours later, Iran hits back, striking targets in the Gulf and, this is huge, shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. Almost overnight, global markets start to tank, airspaces are closed, and you've got a massive, massive supply disruption on your hands.
And that economic shock, it was immediate and it was staggering. I mean, by March 5th, just a few days in, Brent crude oil prices jump all the way to $83 a barrel. And you have to understand, this isn't just a regional headache anymore. This instantly becomes a full-blown global crisis.
The chaos didn't stop with oil prices either. Think about global travel, about logistics. With huge hubs like Dubai suddenly under threat, you're looking at over 4,000 flight cancellations every single day. That's hundreds of thousands of people stranded, just like that.
And you can bet Wall Street was paying attention. The Dow drops 400 points. European and Asian markets fall even harder. It's just a brutal reminder of how interconnected everything is now. A major conflict over there sends shockwaves absolutely everywhere.
But this is where the story gets really interesting. Because despite this massive shock and awe campaign, Iran, well, it wasn't collapsing. Not even close. As one analysis from the Friday Times put it, the country remains territorially intact. Its governing and defense systems, though severely battered, are far from collapse.
And this wasn't just them getting lucky. No, Iran had a very clear strategy. The plan was to endure that first big hit and then immediately inflict major costs back on their attackers and, crucially, their allies. By closing the Strait of Hormuz, they basically shifted the whole center of gravity of the conflict. They turned their national crisis into everyone's global economic problem.
So what went wrong for the attackers? Why did this whole bomb them back to the Stone Age plan fail? What did the strategy completely miss? Well, that brings us to a really important concept, the limits of pure destruction.
The answer, it turns out, is all about understanding what kind of state we're even talking about. See, Iran isn't just a typical nation-state. It's what analysts call a civilizational state. And what that means is its identity is tied to this continuous, ancient culture and history that's way, way bigger than just its current borders or political system.
Let me put it this way. For a lot of modern nation-states, their identity is kind of tied to their capital city or specific territories. If you take the capital, the whole thing can fall apart. But a civilizational state, it is literally millennia of continuity. Its identity isn't in a building. It's decentralized. It's in the people, in their language, and their shared history and culture. And this right here is the absolute heart of the matter. You can bomb buildings. You can blow up power plants and bridges. Sure. But you cannot bomb knowledge. You can't destroy institutional memory. And there is absolutely no way you can erase a cultural identity that has been absorbing conquerors for something like 5,000 years.
But wait, the story gets even weirder. The attacks didn't just fail to break the state. They actually had this completely paradoxical effect on the society itself. It's this idea of cultural resilience. It turns out, when faced with this massive,
national crisis, something really surprising happened. Instead of society just fracturing and falling apart, the complete opposite occurred. Social bonds, trust between people, community solidarity, it all actually got stronger. The external threat basically reinforced the internal fabric of the nation.
So, what's going on here? Well, it's driven by something sociologists call social capital, and it basically rests on 3 pillars. First, you have individual trust, neighbors sharing supplies, strangers helping each other out. Then there's social cohesion, families and community leaders stepping up to provide support. And finally, you get this wave of civic engagement. Charities, mosques, local groups, they all start organizing relief efforts. It creates this kind of collective shield against all the trauma.
Okay, so let's wrap all this up. What's the final verdict?
Basically, this whole Stone Age threat is at its core a fallacy, and it falls apart for 3 main reasons. Number 1, knowledge and memory persist. You can destroy things, but you can't destroy the ideas or the skills people have to rebuild. Number 2, the world is just way too interconnected now. An attack on one major country becomes a crisis for absolutely everybody, very quickly. And third, and this might be the most important point of all, culture is just plain stronger than bombs. A nation's real strength isn't in its buildings, it's in its people and the bonds between them.
So this leaves us with a really powerful final thought. If a nation's ultimate resilience isn't found in its infrastructure, but in its culture and social trust, well, what does that tell us about the true nature of power here in the 21st century?
We really appreciate you joining us for this explainer here on the Global WarWatch Network.
And hey, if you found this valuable, please do us a huge favor and hit that like button, share it, and of course, subscribe for more. We really want to know what you think, so drop your thoughts in the comment section below and come join the conversation on our social media channels. You'll find all the links for that down in the description.